Okay, you guys, so here she is. Okay, so Jen, I'll bring you on here in just a second, but I kind of told you guys, we've all heard a little bit about Jen, right? But just let me tell you guys that she's somebody that I have seen since I started Herbalife as a positive, inspiring, beautiful, confident leader in Herbalife. And I just want you guys to know, like, none of us are a part of Jen's organization or team. She's literally giving her time to us tonight, and I'm so grateful. And I'm just blessed to have you on this call, and we've all just been so excited to hear from you, Jen, because you're one of a kind, and we're so grateful. So I'm going to let you maybe take it away here a little bit, girl. Some of these people have never met you or heard from you. And if you want to share a little bit of your story, a little bit of your background, and then we can kind of get into chats about some satellite clubs.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have lots of people on the line, you guys, and so many faces that I've just never had an opportunity to meet. So I'm so excited to be with all of you here. And I was looking over Lacey's notes, and I'm so excited to share. I know we've got some parents on the line, some non-parents, but all of us, have these crazy busy lives, and we've all made the commitment to be Herbalife distributors. So I just, first of all, want to say how much I love and respect each of you. I was just telling someone today in a Voxer conversation that I was having that I absolutely love and have so much respect for Herbalife distributors, because I think that it's such a bold and brave move to take in your life, to decide that you're going to do something a little bit different than everyone else is doing, and kind of go in a little bit different direction and create your own business. So I just am so thankful to be surrounded by all of you tonight. And so a little bit about my story, you guys. I started using the Herbalife products 8.5 years ago. It was a little over 8.5 years ago. And I had been drinking Herbalife tea purchased at full retail price from my wellness coach, Brooke, for 4 years prior to that. So I just consider that like I wasn't really interested in the products, but the tea was kind of good. So I just bought a full price bottle of tea from her every month. And I had zero interest in the products. I had zero interest in the business. Didn't even really know there was a business, to be totally honest. And I was a full-time insurance agent at the time as well. So I kind of thought I was a big deal, like owned my business, worked out all the time, thought I had gotten pretty good results. And then something switched in my mind, and I was working out 7 to 10 times a week, and I just got stuck in my product results. And so am I talking to some product lovers on the line? Because y'all have gotten a result using the products, right? Yeah, that's why you're here. So I said to my then boyfriend, I said, okay, I'll use these Herbalife products for 3 months. And after 3 months, I'll have to quit because it's going to be completely disgusting. And of course, I'll lose weight. But once I lose this 10 pounds, I'm just going to quit. So he got me connected with his cousin. Her name is Brooke Kerwin. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Brooke, who is a 30K, almost 40K senior executive president's team member. And you guys, Brooke was she was a brand new president's team member when she first started coaching me. And she coached me as if she was a brand new distributor working with a brand new customer. And now that I know who she is, I'll just never, ever, ever take for granted, no matter where I am at in the marketing plan. I always remember that Brooke treated me like a customer, like she was, just a brand new distributor trying to help someone get a result. And so she followed up with me every single day. I lost 10 pounds, 11% body fat in 3.5 months, and it absolutely changed my life. I was going to my insurance office. I was meeting with my clients, and my clients were asking me about how I was looking so good and not asking me anything about their retirement plan or their auto insurance or their homeowner's insurance. And I was like, okay. And I started to sell the products at the gym, and I started to meet people at Barnes and Noble and sell them Herbalife. And you guys, it got to the point I had never even walked into a nutrition club, and around my full-time job, I was doing $10,000 a month in business. I had never even stepped foot into a nutrition club. And so again, I didn't even have any awareness that was good. I didn't even know, because what I know is that if I fall in love with something, I naturally just have to tell everybody on the planet about it. Like, have you guys ever felt this way? Like, I love Herbalife so much, and all I want now is for every single person around me to fall in love with it too. Okay. So, it took me 9 months of using the products to go to my first Herbalife event. And at that first Herbalife event I went to, it was in June of 2011. Okay. It was Tommy and Sandy Giosa were the guest speakers, and they were making upwards of $32,000 a month. And they just happened to be former insurance agents. Sandy Giosa was. And I remember sitting back in my chair and I was like, holy bleep, I'm making like 1/3 of that. And even if it took me 10 years to get to that level, I'll still be making $10,000 a month as an insurance agent 30 years from now. Or I could do this Herbalife thing that I really love, and maybe in 10 years I'll be making 3 times that much. Okay. So the first point of that whole story, you guys, is like, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, no matter what level of the marketing plan you're at, you know, customers always have the potential to turn into distributors. And those distributors always have the potential, if they're in the seats at the events, to see a vision that's bigger than what they had seen before they came. You know, again, my wellness coach was a president's team member. I didn't know that. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that she was making over $30,000 a month, and she was relatively close in age to me. Like, I didn't know any of these things. But when I got to the event, it wasn't Brooke Kerwin that got me to want to open a club. It wasn't Brooke Kerwin that got me to, you know, want to work 100 hours a week on my own business, you know, instead of 40 hours a week on someone else's. It was the event that did that for me. Okay. And so I went on, I opened a nutrition club. I uprooted my family, moved to an entirely different community. I've been a part of my current nutrition club now for the last 4 years. I absolutely love it. And I can share a little bit more about my story as we go through here, but that's just really how it all started for me, you guys. And I know I'm looking at my notes that I got from Lacey, and there's so many things that I can share. I also really, I want to open it up to be able to answer some questions and maybe share some stories based on the things that you guys really want to hear. Like, what are some of the things that you want to know? And Lacey and Tammy, if you want to like pull out a little bit, I know that I'm looking at the notes, you know, you guys, I do a yoga sculpt fit club at my nutrition club. I'm a single mom of 3, and I do this business around an incredibly intense family schedule, an incredibly intense life schedule. And I really have found a magical way of making it all work. And I want to deposit as much of that into you guys as I can. So Lace, Tammy, anybody on the team, if you guys want to guide me through kind of where you want to go next, I would love to maybe go that route.
Yes, Jen. Okay. So the biggest question is, a lot of these guys were at the nutrition club training and they heard some success of satellite clubs that you have going on.
Yeah.
So I know there's some questions around that. And maybe if you want to just share a little bit of like, because how many satellite clubs do you have on your team right now?
So we have 9 on our team right now, 9 operations. And our goal is within the next 2 months to be upwards of 20 satellite operations happening in our organization.
Awesome. So if anybody on this call is looking for like wanting to get started with a satellite club, what do you call them? Do you call them satellite clubs?
Okay, hold on. I have to blow my nose.
No, you're good, girl.
This is real life. I have not blown my nose since before Yoga Sculpt tonight, and it's.
I'll mute you. Blow away.
Okay, I'm done. All right, ready.
Okay.
I'm ready now. Okay, so you guys, we call them pop-up clubs. Okay, and I know, I think, Lacey, I think you mentioned that you have a recording from my call with Amber's organization last night, and I'm certain that you'd be welcome to share that with your team. But you guys, we call them pop-up clubs, and I describe them to people as no more complex than being a 5-year-old who goes to the grocery store, buys a tub of lemonade and some cups, and sets up a stand at the end of your parents' driveway. That's literally how I explain it to people. And instead of selling lemonade, you're selling Herbalife. And instead of making $10, you make $250. And because of this pop-up model and because of the lemonade stand concept, we have one distributor who's 17 years old. She's a full-time student, full-time dance coach and captain and dancer. She works at a daycare part-time, and she is gunning for her supervisor cut in her second month as a distributor this week. This is her week that she'll go supervisor based on utilizing her satellite clubs to sell memberships, introduce people to the 3-day trial, and create preferred members.
Awesome.
So if a 17-year-old can do it, y'all know somebody that can do it. Yeah. And maybe that y'all is one of you, but I'm telling you, it is so simple. It's so easy. And the biggest thing I'd say about a pop-up club is don't overthink it.
Yeah. What do you think people overthink, Jen?
So raise your hand right now if you are connected to, or you work out of, or you have been into a traditional nutrition club. Okay, awesome. Raise your hand if you were at nutrition club training last weekend. Awesome. Okay, so many of us we hear things and we are taught health department, negotiate a lease, find the right location. There's all of these things that we have to take into consideration when we're building out a traditional nutrition club. When we're doing a satellite club, we have maybe 1% of that. Again, the overthinking comes in, well, do I have to call the health department? Do I have to get a license? Do I have to build out? Do I have to? No. All you have to do is be like Lauren Crenna, who asked her mom's boss at the dentist's office if she could come into the break room for 2 hours twice a week to blend shake, tea, aloe, and lift off and sell it for $11. And that's exactly what she does. Like literally product in a cart, carries it into the dentist's office, sets up shop. It's a shake party where you sell the shakes. That's all that it is.
Yeah. Who's here done a shake party? Can I get a show of hands if you've done a shake or a sampling, if you've sampled products? So it's like you set up that, except you don't give things away. Which people expect to pay for things. Like people expect to buy food, right?
You have to plug in too.
No, you're good. So yeah, I think we can get caught up in the, where are we going to wash the pitchers? I guarantee if we found a spot, Jen, we figure out how we're going to wash the pitchers.
You guys, that's exactly what I said on Amber's call last night. That was one of the questions. How do you wash the pitchers? I don't know. You figure it out. Because if you could teach someone to earn $250 from setting up a satellite club, would you just figure it out? If someone was standing, across the room and you had to, and there was like lava between you and the person and they had $1 million check in their hand, would you figure out a way to get there to grab it from them? Probably. So it's like you just figure it out. Just don't overthink it. Just make it happen.
Good. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Jen around satellite clubs before we move on to maybe a different topic?
I was going to ask you, Jen, with the ones that are doing it, are they tapping into areas that they're kind of testing to see if it's a good place to open up a club? Or they're just finding these within I should back up, where your nutrition club is in Brainerd, Brainerd, right? Mm-hmm. Are they, I don't know how big Brainerd is it inside Brainerd or are they tapped out into other cities close by?
So a couple different things. So our high schooler, she's going into different businesses and different areas in our community. Brainerd's about 22,000 people. And she's going into different businesses who honestly have never even heard of the burn. Their employees and they're, even she does a satellite club at a daycare as well. None of these people have ever even stepped foot into the burn before, which is our nutrition club. So what's happening is she's setting up shop 1 or 2 times a week for 1 or 2 hours. She's selling memberships there with invitations for these people to come into our traditional club. So she's using it as a method to sample the products to get people connected to the product so that they want it more, and then they come into our club. It's literally, it's brilliant. She just had 2 people from the dentist's office come in today who have never been to our nutrition club before.
That's brilliant.
So that's one situation. The other 2 who are doing satellite operations in our organization pretty heavily are going into a new community to soften the market to create a traditional club 12 months from now. Jolene will run, own, and operate the club herself, and Paula is looking for the owners. She's looking for the people to recruit through her customer base at her satellite club. Okay, really quick for everybody, is this helpful on like creating some clarity around the satellite club? You guys, raise your hand if you've ever done a shake party as a means of like introducing people to products. So you guys, in the very beginning of my business, I wish I had this picture. I should show it to you guys. In the very, very beginning of my business, remember, I had never stepped foot into a club, but I would literally go and set up with like a tablecloth, a blender, tea. I would blend shakes, and I would do protein bars, and I would like go to my friend's cabin for the weekend, and there'd be 50 people there, and they would literally eat all of my Herbalife products, and then they would buy it, which was fine. But guess who ended up giving away all of that product? Me. And now we have documented volume. We have to document. So it's like, it's important that we find a way to, to sample the products, but in a way that we can document the volume. And this is the way. If I had done it back then, I'd have charged all those fools $11. Stop eating my protein bars or pay me. One of the two. Is that good, you guys?
Jen, do you run a very simple menu then? Like couple shakes, couple teas, and then do you advertise it on Facebook, or like how do you get the word out that, hey, I'm popping up here?
Same way that you would a traditional club. And it's a very limited menu, either a 1 or a 3 shake menu with 1 flavor of tea, 1 flavor of aloe, 3 flavors of liftoff. And I would work with your upline mill and pres on figuring out what is the best for you based on your most popular shakes and your area. And we've developed some paperwork that I'm certain that we could get to as well, but it's very simple.
Jen, I have a question. How are you, girl?
Hi.
When these people are starting, are they training out of your nutrition club first before they go and do this? So they understand kind of like the flow of a club, or are you working with them one-on-one? Because maybe they don't have access to come to your club,
Right.
Which is possible.
Yep. So according to our guidelines, they have 3 like hoops to jump through. They have to get out 3 3-day trial packs. They have to complete a launch plan for their pop-up club. And they have to do 2 hours of satellite nutrition club training with their mentor. Now that 2 hours, if they're long distance, might be via Zoom. Like it might be like I'm setting up my FaceTime and you're going to be here with me throughout the 2 hours that I'm set up at my pop-up location. Otherwise, the majority of them have been local and they do on-site satellite club training. It's like a scale, you guys. It's like we have 40 hours of training at our traditional clubs. We scale it in a satellite club to 2. We have 10 3-day trial packs out before you can get behind the counter at our club. For a satellite club, it's 3. It's just all to scale.
I have a question for you. So kind of going off of the subject, but when you're doing your yoga, is it inside the nutrition club, and how does that look? I mean, are they just going, so do they pay for yoga and then come into the nutrition club, or how does that set up for you?
So excited to talk about satellite clubs are amazing. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about something else too. So thank you for your question, Heather. Okay, so people pay $10 to take my yoga class. And let me tell you, Heather, the location of it right now, we have a yoga studio at our nutrition club, but you don't need a yoga studio at your nutrition club to have a fit club. I used to do this in my basement with 35 of my neighbors coming over 4 times a week at my house. By the way, it was the first satellite club 5 years ago. I just didn't know that that's what it was called.
Jen, did you have babies at that point?
Yeah, I did. I had one baby. And you guys, I had been working out 7 to 10 times a week at my favorite yoga studio in the Twin Cities. And when I had a baby, I knew that I didn't want to spend all that time. I mean, it was a 3-hour commitment because I would drive there, get there 30 minutes early, get my favorite spot, do the 1-hour workout, hang out for 30 minutes after, take a shower, drive home. It's a 3-hour commitment. So I had one baby and I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. So how am I going to have what I want, which is yoga sculpt, but still be with my baby and still build a business with Herbalife? And so I decided to start teaching yoga sculpt at my house. I charged $10 a head. They thought they were paying $10 for yoga. What they were actually paying $10 for was a shake. And every single person got a shake, tea, and aloe after class. And I still have customers today from doing that almost 6 years ago. Livia will be 6 in April.
Oh, wow.
And I noticed you guys, so like making it happen and whatever it takes, you're literally talking to somebody who I will make it happen. I will do whatever it takes in a way that keeps my family involved, that keeps myself connected as a mother, and has me feeling confident and really good in all of those areas. So Heather, to answer your question, the class that I teach today, 6 years later, is in a yoga studio that is connected to my nutrition club, and people walk in and they pay $10 or $15 because now we've gotten to the point where people get prepare and rebuild strength. But that's after years. I mean, we started, you guys, when I first got into the club teaching yoga, it was $5 a head. And they got rebuild strength afterwards. And there was a small profit, but I had to build trust and I had to show them that it was kick-ass. And I had to show them that the rebuild strength product was a true game changer. So that's why I won't teach at any other studio. I won't teach at a gym. I won't teach it for anyone else. Number one, because if we're going on the Herbalife vacation, I'm not going to ask for time off. Like my students know that there is a slight amount of flexibility, but I've built years of trust with them that they're okay with that. And number two, gym owners don't allow me to do Herbalife. And I'm just not willing to do that. So it's like I had to be so good with my own results, and I had to be so good at allowing people to fall in love with my class and to fall in love with me, and then to ultimately teach them about the products. And here we are all these years later, and it's my number one method. And so I would say it doesn't have to be a yoga sculpt class. Like, don't run out and get yoga sculpt certified. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, what do you love that is a burning passion in your heart, that if you had something happen and you weren't able to do it, you would find a way to do it so that it worked in your life. Maybe it's a book club. Maybe it's knitting. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's CrossFit. Maybe, I don't know what it is. But if you really have a burning desire to be the best Herbalife distributor that you can be, find a way to wrap Herbalife around whatever it is that you love and make it happen in a nutrition club or somewhere where you can do Herbalife with it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if you're looking to start something like that, just listening to what you said, it sounds like the top 2 or 3 things is like consistency,
yes,
trust, and relationships.
Yeah. So, okay. So you guys, we started. Well, can someone just toss out, like, what is something that you are thinking of doing? Maybe it's a fit club. Maybe it's a book club. Maybe it's a mom's group. Like, what is it that you're thinking of doing that you have a burning desire about that you want to wrap Herbalife around? Anybody?
I thought about doing a mom's group.
A mom's group, Jordan?
Yep.
So what kinds of things would you do in your mom's group?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. So I think that you're onto something with that. Okay, so let me just say, I have this burning desire in my heart right now. I used to teach Saturday morning yoga every single weekend at the Burn. I'm just not willing to do that anymore because I've worked so hard to build this group of customers that now I really do want to like carve out Saturday mornings to just like not set my alarm and wake up with my kids. Like, years and years and years of sacrifice, I'm ready to like kind of shift my focus a little bit on Saturday mornings. However, there's still that like desire in my heart to do Herbalife. So what I've decided to do is instead of give up yoga completely on Saturday mornings, I've decided to one time a month for right now until it explodes to do Family Fit Hour at our nutrition club. I have no idea what kind of workout we're going to do. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I know that I don't have to know all of that, but I can combine my desire to be with my children with my desire to build an Herbalife business. Because what's the number one excuse that people have for not getting healthy and not doing Herbalife? Their kids. I don't have time. My kids have this. I can't eat healthy. My kids have, all they want is macaroni. I can't do this because I have kids. I can't come to yoga because I have kids. I can't. Well, I'm all about like, what can we do? And that starts with me. So I love my kids. I love Herbalife. How do I smash that together? And so, maybe you did a mom's group, Jordan, that had some kind of fitness aspect with it. And you had a bunch of moms holding their babies like I do every night at my house when I'm doing squats with my kids, and I just make it work. And you just do what you can and wrap Herbalife around it. If you love your babies and you love Herbalife, find a way to wrap Herbalife around that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. And if you love it, people will love it. If you hate it, people will not come.
Yeah.
If it is a struggle for you, Brooke always talks about upstream, downstream. And if you're like, there's a difference between hard work and upstream battle, right? Like hard work is, oh my gosh, this Yoga Sculpt Fit Club I'm doing one time a week is absolutely busting at the seams. I need to do it 3 times a week so that I can build my documented volume. That's called hard work. Upstream is like, oh my gosh, I hate teaching this Yoga Sculpt class, but I said I was going to do it, so I have to do it. And nobody's probably going to show up anyways, but I committed to doing it. Like that's upstream. You got to find something that's downstream that you love to do, that you could do all day long, that you can be consistent with, Lacey, because that's huge too. When we start doing this stuff and then we cancel 2 weeks in, it doesn't build trust, and people need to trust us like they trust Target. We got to be like Target. Target's always open, even if the snow is coming down, and they're only closed on Christmas and, Easter, right? So what we do, we have to be committed to doing it to build trust. Oh Lord, you guys are recording this. I'm like, I'm really showing my my personality in all of this conversation. So I hope it's not too aggressive, you guys, but I believe so much that if you guys are on this call, and if you're carving out an hour on a Tuesday night to be on this call, you do want Herbalife in your life, and you do want to help people. So now it's just a matter of like focusing on what we can do and not on what we can't. And when we do that, then our customers do that,
So good, Jen.
I'm kind of on fire. You guys, I'm coming out of an entire day at the club, an entire night at Yoga Sculpt, 3 3-day trial pack appointment setups. I had a product HOM for my team right before this. And now I'm coming in hot to this call with you guys. Hot, hot, hot.
Hey, Jen, I know back to satellite clubs, I know we have some people that are a little bit newer, not that they wouldn't hear it from us, but you can't just go open up a satellite club. You need to register it with Herbalife.
Yep.
Which is super simple.
Super simple. Just call them. Just call Herbalife. 866.
Ashley, are you on the call? How fast did we set up your satellite club the other day?
We did it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Super simple. Awesome.
Very simple.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jen?
Yeah.
Like she's,
I have a
yeah.
Oh.
Go, Em.
I have a question. Okay. So listening to you talk about the fit camps and all of that, I'm a 4th grade teacher. My name's Emily. I have a parent of one of my students that in the community where I teach, she is doing all of these like yoga classes. She's doing pound classes. She has this big following from all these parents, all these teachers. She's a mom of 5, and I don't even know why I haven't thought of this before, but just on this call, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, why can't I set up after one of her, classes or something like that? But I'm struggling with how do I go about that? Like, I don't even know if she has even heard of Herbalife before. So I don't know how to go about that to be respectful, not like, hey, I want to sell shakes after your fitness class, that kind of thing.
Well, here's an idea. Have you ever given her the opportunity to try a shake or to do a 3-day trial pack herself?
I have not. So, yeah.
So that might be a great place to start, is to introduce her to the products and allow her to fall in love with the products. Because there's so many different avenues of how you could go about it.
Right.
I definitely feel you on that, because when people have their flow realistically, you guys, fitness professionals are a tough nut to crack. They really are, because they're like, they know it. They know what to do. They know what, like, there's kind of an ego around being a fitness instructor. Now I was on the light side of things before I became a fitness instructor, so I didn't have to deal with all of that. But the reality is that it is kind of tough. So it's like, invitation, is she close to your nutrition club, or are you close to a nutrition club? No,
actually this whole area, North Iowa, has no nutrition clubs.
Got it. Okay. Sounds like a great opportunity for you.
Yeah.
So maybe the conversation is something like, what's her name?
Her name's Sarah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Sarah, I've just been following you on social media, and I follow you in all your classes, and you really inspire me, and you remind me a lot of the people that I work with in Herbalife, my colleagues, who have all really fallen in love with the products. And I just was wondering, has anyone ever offered you the opportunity to try Herbalife? Like, have you ever tried it before? And she might be like, no, I haven't. And you could be like, awesome. Well, we have this 3-day trial, and it's $20, and you get coaching, and you get products, and I would coach you for 3 days, and it might be something that you love. Since you love fitness so much, you probably love nutrition as well. Would that be something you'd be interested in? Like,
nice. Yeah.
Give her an I would say your intuition on not just going in for the kill with, can I set up and sell products at your class, is very spot on. Don't do that. If someone came to me and was like, Jen, your class is so awesome. This has happened to me, actually. I had a people in my yoga class. I had 62 people show up for my class one night. It was freaking awesome. And these other network marketing people that were in my class, they asked me if they could set up a table at my nutrition club after class so that they could sell their product to my clients. And I'm like, no freaking way. I earned that. I worked for that, so your intuition is really good on that. So I would go with that. And I would say our whole job as Herbalife distributors, Em, is to find out where people's gap in their life is and how we can fill it with Herbalife. So maybe she has a nutritional gap, and you can fill that gap with a 3-day trial and the products. Maybe if you start talking to her, she might be like, I love these classes, but I'm not making nearly enough money. Well, then you can tell her that a girl from Minnesota that makes $300 profit every time she teaches a 1-hour yoga class. That might get her attention. And then maybe she's the one that wants to sell the shakes.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Too much. I don't want to go crazy with the ideas, but I'm just like, I really love that you're like, I don't really want to do that. Well, that's called upstream. Don't do that. Don't like walk up and say, hey, can I start selling shakes at your really successful classes? She'd be like, sorry. No, you can't. But get her bonded to you and get her bonded to Herbalife and allow her to experience it. It might be a little slower process, but it might get you something even more spectacular in allowing her to be able to experience the products and maybe even become a distributor herself someday.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that does help.
You got it, girl.
Okay, I have a question. Jen, what is your flow in the morning? Okay. I struggle with my 1-year-old.
Oh.
Like, what is, like, when do you get up? Like, do you get up before the kids? Like, kind of what's like your walkthrough in the mornings?
Okay, so here's the reality. No, I do not get up before the 3 kids. They wake me up. Because the reality is, you guys, I am tired. I work, and I will continue to work after I get off this call with you because I am extremely committed to 20K senior executive president's team. Like, that is my commitment. And I'm aware that my time during the day is like, it has to be scheduled. It has to be structured. I have to be doing something. If I'm not with my children, I am doing something to build my business, or I'm sleeping. Now, my schedule is a little bit different, Shayna, because I like I said, I'm a single mom and I have very involved father of my children. So they're with me 50% of the time. So when I'm not with them, I am up at 5:30 in the morning and I don't quit until 10:30 at night. But I'm pulled towards that. I'm not pushing. I'm not, you guys, you're looking at me right now. It's 9:00 at night and I am like, I have not had any prepare. I have had 0 liftoffs today and I am ready to rock. Like, I got my list. I know exactly what to do. Now, on the mornings that I have the kids, Shayna, we have a team schedule structured at our nutrition club that I don't go into that club until 10:00 on the mornings that I have the babies. Okay. So this might be a little bit different for you. You might have to like adjust your schedule. The point is create a schedule where you're able to work and grind, and then you're able to shut it off and be with your kids. And then you're able to get up in the morning. Like for you, it might be, I have to wake up at 5 a.m. because I have 5 things I have to do before my kid wakes up. So for you, Shayna, it might be, I can't work until 11:00 at night. I have to be in bed by the time my call is over. Do you know what I'm saying? So like for you, your flow might be a little bit different than me. The point is find a way to maximize your time so that if you're like, okay, I need to wake up before the baby because I've got all of these things to do for my business, then you probably have to go to bed a little bit earlier. I just need to go to bed earlier. That's just like my ultimate, like I just have, and I'm doing better. I'm doing much better. But the point is my morning flow when I have the kids that is the time, Shayna, that I have carved out where I don't work. I'm not on my phone. I'm not following up with customers. I'm not checking on the nutrition club. The morning hours between 6 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. are family time, which might be a little bit different because for some families, family time is like, 5 o'clock to 7:30. So my morning flow now on mornings when I'm like, I'm up at 5:30 and I'm to the club by 6:40 and the day starts and the kids are all where they need to be and I'm focused and locked in on work. I don't know if that's helpful.
Sounds like I just need to get my butt up a little earlier.
And go to sleep a little earlier, hun. Like
Yep,
that's the thing. It's the discipline of you guys, you know what I think about myself as? I think about myself as Tom Brady every day. And I'm like, if Tom Brady played the Super Bowl every second of every day of his life, he would not win the Super Bowl when the actual Super Bowl was happening. Like, if you followed Tom Brady in his life, he probably gets a fair amount of sleep. And he probably gets a fair amount of practice time. And he's probably doing a fair amount of training at the appropriate time. And if he's smart, he's drinking an Herbalife shake after. and then he's, you know, spending time with his family and he's going to bed. But the point is, like, we just have to be willing to structure our days. And have you ever seen the big rocks, small rocks, sand and water? Yeah. So that's what I do. And so unless something emergent comes up with the organization and I need to be on a call on a Wednesday or a Thursday after 5 p.m., which is very rare, Wednesdays and Thursdays after 5 p.m. until my kids go to sleep, that's time with my kids. And we go live and we do squats, and that's fun for us to do together. And that's still me connecting with people about Herbalife. Okay. But, and then on, you know, in the mornings, 2 mornings a week, I wake up, they wake me up. I don't wake them up because I'm tired, right? They wake me up at like 6:30 and I'm like, go back to sleep. You guys are too noisy. I need to get some rest. But they're so great. And so, you know, we have our little special time in the morning. We're very routine. You know, our routine is very structured in the morning. I get them to school and then it's right into the grind. Customer follow-up, working the club, invitations to the club, inviting people to yoga, talking to my team. Where are they at with their customers, with their preferred members and distributors? Like, if I don't have kid responsibilities, I am 100% locked in on what I got to do for business. And if I'm committed to not having business responsibilities, I'm 100% locked in to those kids and, you know, pouring into them.
Hey, Jen, back to satellite clubs. Curious, do the pop-ups, do they give themselves a name?
Some do and some don't.
Okay. Cool.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Okay, Jen, I definitely have some questions for you.
Okay.
So I work from home, but I'm always with the kids, and my kids are not old enough to be in school. So I've had kind of a hard time like figuring out like how to work around them, because if I'm on my phone, then Stella's like, play Barbies with me. What are you doing? Why are you on your phone? And if I, you know, it's just been like kind of hard to like adjust, you know, like family time, but then also like trying to carve out time for work because she hasn't napped since she was 1. And I don't know, it's just a lot. Like, I'm amazed by you. You're a superhero mother. I just need to know, like, what would you say, like, if you had a coach that was like, I am always home with my kids, they're super little, what do I do?
Yeah. I totally get it.
You know
okay.
what I mean?
I do. I would have so I would tell you what I would do if I was in that position.
Yeah.
And this is what I would share with my coach if I was the mentor in that position.
Perfect.
My first question to you, Jordan, would be, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? Like, I want you to tell me clearly right now what you want out of your Herbalife business.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want you to tell me.
Okay. I want to be making as much as our gym. So like around 3,000-4,000 a month, like to be able to pay myself that.
Okay.
And to have a team. I mean, I would love to have a team of women that are like-minded, and maybe other moms. That's kind of what I'm going for, is just like a group of women that are all wanting to have more for their families.
Okay. Love that. So you want to work from home, you want to make $3,000 a month, and you want to have a team of like-minded women who want to do more for their families while working from home around their families as well.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome.
I love that. And I think it is possible. And what I would say, if I was you and I was in that position, and if I had a coach that was in that position, I would say, okay, our goal is to stay in a space of what can Jordan do with the situation that you have. And if I were looking at my babies, and I've done this before, Jordan, so, you know, trust me when I say, I know what it's like to look at small children and say, mommy needs to do some work right now. And I remember when I was growing up, and I would, you know, my parents would go off to work, And they just, like, I just expected that. Like my parents would say, like, I have to go to work because it's my responsibility to make money so that we can go do fun things. And so you can have these rollerblades that you want. And so we can go on the trip to Florida that we have planned. And mommy is committed to helping people get really, really healthy on, you know, like, Lukey, what's your favorite shake? Banana caramel. Awesome. Mommy's going to talk to this woman about her favorite shake too. Like, and this is how we're going to go to Hawaii where Moana lives as a family. Like, and I ask them all the time, I'm like, you know, what are some of the things that you want to do? And I have conversations with them about that. I'm like, awesome. And that's why mommy works so hard. That's why mommy is taking 20 minutes right now to send these emails, because I have to follow up with people in order to help them, you know, to help them fall in love with their banana caramel shakes. And that's how we make money in order to pay for this house. Like, I'm really super open and honest with my kids about why I do what I do. But that's also, Jordan, because whatever it is that they want to do, whether it's be a stay-at-home mom or whether they want to be a president's team member with Herbalife, or they want to, you know, fly to the moon as an astronaut, like, I just want to show them that whatever it is that they decide that they're going to do, that it does take hard work, it does take some sacrifice, and the payoff is enormous, you know? Yeah. I mean, I'm a single mom of 3, and I earned over $19,000 last month. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, not that they understand what $19,000 is, but they understand when we go to Target and they have their allowance, they understand, because I teach them that they have that allowance because I work so hard. And my kids are like, Mommy, I want to work at the Burn when I grow up. And Mommy, I want to make shakes when I grow up. Like, I think that as women, a lot of times we do feel this guilt, like, I have to entertain my kids, and I have to, you know, play with them every second that they want. I've felt that before. I have felt that a lot. And I had to kind of let go of that. I'm trying to think of what book it is that I read, Jordan, that gave me permission to, like, let go of that. But I think, you know, there's so many things that moms can do in a group format. I mean, with social media and, you know, the platforms to be able to stay connected to people and have it be centered around Herbalife, like, you can do so much. The tendency for us as women is to think about how restricted we are if we're stay-at-home moms. Yeah. We have a woman who's a stay-at-home mom, and granted, she's not super, like, driven and motivated to build a business right now, but she loves Herbalife, she loves our club, and she loves my yoga class. So she meets with her mommy friends in a mom's group one time a week, every single Monday at our nutrition club with all their kids. The moms all buy shakes, they all get $1 off, and the kids run around our yoga studio for 2 hours while the moms talk.
That's what we should do at our gym. I mean, we own a CrossFit gym. I could easily.
My only thing that I would say about that, and I don't know anything about your CrossFit gym, is make sure that Herbalife is the center. Because at our nutrition club, and Herbalife is the center of everything at our club. Mm-hmm. So making sure that if that happens at the CrossFit gym, that it's like the moms come in, they're buying a shake, y'all are sitting around talking, and the shakes are at the center of it while the kids are playing.
Yeah.
I think that the main thing, because I heard you say, I want to make $3,000 a month. Okay, well, we're talking probably a global expansion team level.
Yep. So
we're talking some, you know, and Brooke always used to say this to me. She'd be like, if you tell me that you want to go to the global expansion team, it doesn't serve you at all, Jen, for me to say that it's not going to take some hard work and sacrifice and time, you know, like, it's going to take some hard decisions, but it's so worth it. And I remember I was sitting in the spa in Mexico on the Herbalife vacation 2 years ago, and I remembered Amber Wick and Brooke Irwin's words in my head of, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it. In that moment, I knew exactly what they were talking about. It was not easy, and the decisions that I make are not easy, but my kids are very happy. And we get to go and we just spent an entire weekend in Minneapolis, stayed at a super nice hotel, got all room service food that we wanted because I had saved a certain amount of money from my income to be able to provide that for them, you know? And so when we do fun things like that, I constantly tell them, like, this is why mommy does squats every night on Facebook with you guys. This is why mommy is always talking to people about herbal. This is why mommy goes to work so much. You know, the times that I would go teach yoga on Saturday mornings, I would hug them and I would leave them with a babysitter that I love. And I would say, mommy loves you so much. And I'm going to work at the nutrition club right now because we're going to Hawaii in June for mommy's birthday. And they're so bought into that. And it's going to be incredible when we get off the plane and there they are with Maui getting a lei put on their head at 6 and 5 years old. But it takes small sacrifices and commitment to what you, if someone came to you, Jordan, and said, I really want to lose 10 pounds, but I'm not willing to give up McDonald's, would you tell them that that was possible for them?
No.
No, it's not possible. I'm sorry. I love you, but it's just not possible. So we have to be okay with reframing our idea of working in front of our kids and not equating our lack of attention with a lack of love.
Yeah, I think also, like, I mean, it's kind of personal, I guess, but like for me, my parents didn't really like play. They were always doing their own thing. And so I think it almost, for me, it's like a guilt. Like, I'm like, I do not want to be like that. I want to be super involved and I want to be like the fun mom that plays with them. And, you know, so it's almost like a guilt driven thing that I do. It's like, I feel like I have to play and I have to do that. And then I get stressed out. Like, I want to be working, but I feel like I have to give you all my attention, or I'm like being a bad parent, or I'm going to like hurt your feelings down the road, or, you know, just like, it's just mom guilt. It's mom guilt.
I totally get that. And I have 100% been where you are. And I would say, this is the last thing I'll say on the topic is like, sometimes if the pendulum is one side in our upbringing, whether that's regarding finances, whether that's regarding weight, whether that's regarding how we were parented, sometimes if the pendulum is over here, we tend to swing the pendulum all the way the other way as an overcompensation. And that's like, my parents never taught me to save money, so now I'm going to save every single penny that I have and I'm never going to do anything fun. Well, that's not necessarily healthy. Or my parents never played with me when I was a kid, so I'm going to sacrifice everything in my life to play with my kids every single second. And if they come to me with a Barbie, it is my responsibility to braid that damn Barbie's hair every single time. Well, no, that's not necessarily healthy, right? Like, talk about the pendulum. Like, okay, what's a healthy amount of independent play? I mean, I was talking to executive presidency member Molly Fears, and we were talking, and I asked her, I'm like, Molly, what did you do when you were growing up? Like if your parents were doing, she's like, dude, I played in my room with my books and my coloring books all the time by myself. Like, independent play, like, she didn't think of it as being neglected. She thought of it as independent play. Like, she just was like, they were like, go to your room and play, like, find something fun to do. And they did it. And so it totally shifted my frame of mind of like, I can do that with my kids and it's okay. It's okay for them to like go read a book by themselves. Like, teaching them, you know.
I always played by myself too, but Stella will like throw herself on the floor, like, play with me, like just a huge, you know, because now I've started the monster, so now I have to work on.
Yeah, that might be a different call, sister.
Yeah, I know.
Or a different human to help you with that, to be totally honest. But I can tell you that my kids are very happy. My kids are there. They know how loved they are. We do a healthy amount of cuddling. And I can tell you that with the right commitment and the right decision to sacrifices that are healthy, you know, we're on the verge of president's team and it's going to be amazing for them. And so it is possible to create balance. And I just encourage you to find someone to talk to and talk to your upline about what you need to do with your business, and find someone to talk to that can help you like be okay with finding some balance in all of that. And dude, I'm sorry, but little kids will pretty much do anything to get what they want. And we just can't take it personally. That's my own non-therapist opinion on that whole matter. So
True.
yes, girl.
Thank you.
You're a good mama.
Thanks.
Question. I have a question. How long did you work in the nutrition club before you went and took it on yourself?
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't work in one at all, nor had I really stepped foot in one when I opened my own club. That was not a good idea. Funny, not so funny story, you guys, is I owned a nutrition club by myself that did 8 memberships a week for 4 years. So that was not awesome. And I'm still here. Okay. So it never quitting is definitely, just don't ever stop. But the beautiful thing is now we have such solid clubs with solid systems. I was working the reason I uprooted my family was to position myself right next to my mentor. So I could learn exactly how to run a nutrition club, exactly how to do the books, exactly how to treat the customers, and exactly how to create customers and preferred members and distributors out of a club. So I did that for 2 years right next to my mentors. And after 2 years, I took over our club for 100% ownership. And I have owned it 100% for the last 2 years. So 2 years of extreme mentorship, extreme side by side, like no more ego, no more attitude, no more thinking I know everything. Like I am at the mercy of your teaching, and I want to know it all.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, guys, it's 9:16. I'm sure Jen's maybe just getting started, but I want to respect your night and your evening and your Pres team run. So can we all give some love to Jen like this? Like all the love, all the good energy, all the documented volume.
We have to take a picture. Everybody keep your hands in the air because it's a great picture. You guys are so awesome. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Thank you guys. And I just want to say one thing before I go, and that is that you guys have the most incredible upline. And I told this to Brooke when I was talking about coming on this call, is that there's I don't know what I could do more to express my gratitude to Tammy Guides an Hour and to Lacey, and particularly Tammy, to you for being someone who was there for my mentors, which gave me an opportunity to be mentored by them and by you. And y'all are in the right hands with these people. And so please listen to what they have to say and know that it's coming from a place of wanting everything for you, sometimes more than you want it for yourself. And Tammy and Lacey, I love you so much. And when I stand on stage as a presidency member, you will be people that I thank, because you have been people that have been there, a part of my journey from the very beginning. And that's why I got on this call tonight. So I'm so thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for all of you. Again, I have so much love and respect for you. And please go out and go after what you want with everything that you have. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen.
Bye, you guys.
We love you, girl.
Jen.
Love you.
Thank you, Jen.